Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening, whatever time it is for you. My name is Eva Marie Everson. I am the director of Florida Christian Writers Conference, as well as the president of Word Weavers International. And my favorite sidekick, who is to my left, but maybe to my right, who knows, is...
Hi, I am Taryn Souders. I am the vice president of One Cup of Coffee, Word Weavers International. I'm working on the second one, folks.
Yeah.
And I am the co-director of the Florida Christian Writers Conference. And below me is the famous, well-known, and most loving Michelle Medlock Adams. And she's going to be with us for not only the Florida Christian Writers Conference, but also for the Kidz Lit intensive that takes place all day Wednesday, October 20th. So Michelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is you're going to be teaching? Because you're going to be taking on one of the continuing classes, and it's not a continuing class that we normally have you do. You are coming in for something new for Florida, definitely not new to you though.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, I'm always excited to teach children's because, I mean, that's what a lot of people know me for, is writing for kids. And I'm excited we're doing the Kid Lit Day. Like, let's just be excited about that. That's never happened before. A whole day of children's writing. Kudos to you guys for doing that and investing in writers who are investing in the children who are important to the kingdom of God. So I am thrilled about that. I'm teaching a couple classes for that and wouldn't miss it for the world. But yes, to be able to come in and teach a continuing class that is not children's is a little different for me. I've taught freelance and how to make money at freelance before as a continuing class many times. And I've co-taught a continuing class about like how to get your hustle on. And we did talk about nonfiction books with Bethany Jett at a conference, but never with you guys. I've ever taught the continuing nonfiction track. So excited about that because people who don't know me very well or don't know kind of my background, I started in nonfiction. I mean, I still continue it, but I was a journalist. I mean, I was a journalism school at Indiana University, go Hoosiers, and I still continue to write nonfiction. And even when I write for children, I often write a lot of nonfiction. Like, that's just kind of my bread and butter. I just love it. I think there's so many amazing stories to tell. We don't even have to make them up because there's so many great.
Yes.
You can tell.
Yes.
I love to do nonfiction, but I'm going to be talking about in this class all the ways that you can have a career in nonfiction. So obviously I'll touch on children's. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there because it's not a children's class, but I'm going to talk about how do you get nonfiction gigs? Like, if it's not your own book, like how do you maybe get into a compilation book that's a bunch of nonfiction? I'm going to talk about the actual craft of nonfiction as well as how do you actually acquire some jobs, because people want to know, how do I get in a compilation, or how do I get published in nonfiction? Well, I'll show you the tricks to the trade in magazine as well as in books.
Yes.
The actual craft, we're going to spend a couple of days on that because I think that people think it's a formula, and it's not. I guess there is a method to this madness. But Bethany and I don't know if we coined it, but we think we did. So we're just going to act like we did. We call it the ping pong method, where you sort of like anecdote and then teaching and then anecdote and then teaching. It works well in pretty much every nonfiction project I've ever done. And there's a way to do that where it doesn't seem forced, and a way to sort of bookend your articles or your books or the chapters in your books and have that one thread that goes all the way through whatever project is you're writing, to where when you finish, the reader is so satisfied. They feel like the questions have been answered, and then you feel excited that you've answered those questions because they're going to buy more of your stuff because they like you then. So I love nonfiction. It's probably my favorite thing to write. I mean, it's fun to do, like, I like to make up stories occasionally for little kids, but when I write, like I wrote a little prayer book for kids, that's the book that just got Book of the Year. It's because writing nonfiction, whether it's prayers or whether it's stories where people are sharing what God's done for them, there's just so much power in that. And I just love it. Can you tell I'm excited about nonfiction?
Absolutely. Well, we've always known that Michelle's a triple threat, and that's because you do write for children, and you do write nonfiction, and you also are an accomplished speaker and a much sought after speaker. So you are that triple threat. And I think that speaking, obviously goes along quite well with writing nonfiction. One of the things I love about Michelle's work is her nonfiction work, and I do love her children's books as well, but I love her nonfiction because it's conversational. Yes. And okay, so maybe you did invent the ping pong, I'm not sure. But one of the things I do love about the way you write is that because of that conversational way that you have of writing, I feel like I just sat down with a friend and had that conversation. And I'm not a huge nonfiction reader. I have to really be interested in the subject. So when a Michelle Medlock Adams book comes along, whether it's written, co-written with Bethany or anyone else for that matter, it's always going to be on my shelf. And so we were excited this year to have Michelle come in for the Kidz Lit, but then also to come in for this nonfiction track. And I'm so, again, excited that you just said that, this is not just about writing nonfiction books. It's about articles. It's about compilation books and all of that. We have Word Weavers members who are like the compilation kings and queens. They're always in these books, and they are getting published and published and published, and they're getting their names out there. And that's very important when you're trying to build your platform. Michelle, can you speak to that?
That is so true. And when I taught all these freelance classes back in the day, because I've been doing this, we've been in this a long time, over 20 years. I'm not even saying how long.
I know. We were there together in the beginning.
We were babes. But, doing freelance, I used to teach just, write everything you can that's not illegal. Just get out, get your name out there. And older in the industry, it's sort of write everything that you can that kind of goes with your messaging. I'm not a big brander, like whatever, but there is some strategy to that. So to get into a compilation book, let's say that you're writing a nonfiction book for the heart of mamas. You're doing something for moms. I've done several devotional books for moms, I think 5 or 6 now. And so it would make sense then for me to write in magazines or to get my story in another like compilation book for moms, because I'm trying to build that readership in that genre or in that particular topic. So if someone saw my story in a mom's devotional book that came out from Barbara, maybe there were like 6 or 7 of us, or maybe even 10 of us that had 4 there. Well, then if they liked my stuff in there, when I write my own mom book, they'll be like, oh, see that it's kind of, there is a strategy to this. You begin to build sort of this, expertise or some sort of authority in that particular topic by writing in magazines, by writing in compilation books, and then by having your own books. And the thing about nonfiction is it covers such a broad thing.
Yes.
I think Taryn Whiting's coming and teaching devotionals. She and I are, I'm going to talk a little bit about devotionals as well, because that's nonfiction. I've done, I don't even know now.
A gazillion.
A lot. A lot of them, for both kids and tweens and teens and for women. So I think that's a great way to sort of cut your teeth in the nonfiction realm. And for the first time, I'm doing a Bible study. Never done a Bible study before.
Ooh.
So Bethany and I have a Bible study coming out next summer it's a companion book to our Platinum Faith book. So I can definitely do this topic because I don't want to say I've done it all, but I've done most of it.
Yeah.
Whatever questions you have in the nonfiction world, I am your gal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what you haven't done, you'll make up along the way. So
Right. Yes.
What she hasn't done, she'll just write and it'll become a bestseller, because that's what Michelle does.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm excited. Now, of course, Taryn is an award-winning middle grade novelist, and I'm an award-winning novelist.
Yeah.
Michelle is award-winning children's book writer as well as nonfiction writer. But next year, Michelle and I are going to have a children's book that comes out. I can't believe I'm writing for children. This is just too funny.
So, we just got to see our artist, and we're both like, oh, it's so great.
Oh, I know. This is really exciting. When I saw this, okay, we have a winner, and I'm thinking, a winner for what? And then I open it up, and it's like, we found the illustrator. And I went to her website, and oh my gosh.
I know. I gasped. I was like,
me too. Yeah.
I know. Oh,
yeah. And Michelle came back with, she had me at the llama.
She's a llama. I want to check it out.
On her website. I was like, okay. I
love
so much.
Yes. We did. I don't know that we had a llama in the book, but we had a mouselet.
We did have and that made the edit. So
I know we're totally rabbit trailing here, but I do have to say this does kind of, because I'm sure, Michelle, you get asked this question a lot. I know I've been asked this question a lot, is for children's books, is how do I find my own illustrator? And it's like, you don't.
Yes.
You let the publishing house find the illustrator, because they can find amazing illustrators that we can't. So that's I'm so excited.
Isn't it true that a lot of times, and we're going to talk about this because you are coming for the Kidz Lit, that houses kind of want to stick with their own style of illustrator, so you don't need to bring in somebody else?
That's true. The only time that you do that is if you yourself actually illustrate and write. And I mean, not like do like stick figures to show what you're there. I mean, like you really are an accomplished artist. then that's a great thing. You can bring your own art. Or if you are a famous husband-wife team who wins the illustrator writer, then you can get by with it. But pretty much that's the only situation. Now there are some smaller houses that are now requiring you to bring your illustrator, but that's new. And typically you don't have to bring it. And you're right. For instance, there are certain artists that they may work with other houses occasionally, but there are certain houses that they do most of their work with.
Yep.
So if you try to take that artist from that house to another house, you won't be liked much.
Yeah,
And you're saying, let the houses do what they do. And it's okay to suggest, hey, I like this style of art. Now that I've gotten a little bit, I don't know, more leeway, I guess, as I've been a writer and done some things in children's, I can say, I think this is the style I was thinking of when I was writing it. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they just go, yeah, thanks for that.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks for playing. We're going completely opposite direction. And I realize that we can't be gifted everything, and what I think really doesn't matter in the art world, because I told them the art illustration prompts, all that, but they're going to go with what they think.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, that's one of the things we have to learn in publishing is that everybody has a job to do and they are trained to do that job and they know that job. And so stick with what you do.
Yes. You know, we've got enough jobs. We don't need to add more to our.
Right. Exactly. So it's like, can I just throw out my opinion and then y'all do with it whatever you want to do with it?
And then y'all can disregard it.
But you know, but what we find out too is that you know, as long as we've been in the industry, those people who come and go rather quickly are the ones who dig their heels in and they want to run the show on everything, and you don't do that. And so of course that's something that we do try to teach at the conferences and through word weavers, etc., that there's a protocol for everything. And
know which battle.
we're so excited that you are coming this year and you are going to teach something a little different. You're going to be here for Kidz Lit. Michelle typically comes in a little early and the three of us.
That's my ticket. Yes.
So
we
go do things like shopping. Yeah. We go to
a few, you know, well, we like to have some tea, don't we? My first.
We do.
Is it called a cozy or a koozie or something?
The cozy.
Yeah. I'd never done that before. I felt very, I don't know, proper. We went to the tea room.
Yeah. I think a koozie is what you put on a beer bottle.
Beer.
Oh, well, there you go. It wasn't that. It was the other that's a pretty little thing on top of the tea.
Yes. The tea cozy. It's warm. Yeah. How fun.
Very, very lovely.
So we're always excited that Michelle is coming. We're especially excited this year. If you write nonfiction or you're interested in learning more about writing nonfiction, you will not find a better teacher. I mean, all of our teachers are good, but Michelle is especially good, or we wouldn't have her here. So if you are interested in that, remember it's word-weavers.com/Florida events, and that will take you to all the information that you need to know. Now, Michelle, are you also doing brainstorming with the experts this year? Are you doing that as well? You don't know.
What am I doing now? I know I'm doing a class at night with Dale Didway.
Now, are you doing the mentoring where they can reach out to you?
I did have one person reach out to me. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so again, if you are interested in Michelle as a mentor, go to Brainstorming with the Experts, look at what she can help you with, and just reach out to her, and I'm sure she would love to sit down and talk with you while you're at the conference.
I love to brainstorm.
To dine with her, and you'll have the opportunity to go to some of her other classes as well. When Michelle comes, we work her pretty hard because again, she's a triple threat. So we will see you all in October. Remember, word-weavers.com/Florida events, and that's spelled out FLORIDA events. All right. So we'll see you next time.
So excited.
Hey, all right. And we're going to say goodbye for now. Michelle, don't go anywhere. Taryn, you know to stay.